Alright, welcome to my video. My name is Eckogen. So this is my Q&A response video for the 1000 subscriber milestone. I had requested for any questions to be posted in that video, and I would answer them at the end of January. Now I realize I'm a little over a month behind on the response video. I do apologize for that. I have been sick for about a month, and then I had to also cover new content that Blaine's had released as well. So we'll finally get started on the response video now for the Q&A. So we'll start with the newest comments first. So Euro asks how much money you paid for Blade and Soul. Well, I've swiped about $100, well, 100 to 200 for every RNG and Trove event. Plus, I've bought most of the outfits from the Hamoon store. So I'd say I've probably spent around $2,000 USD on Blade and Soul. United Strafe says, I would subscribe, but anytime I talk about pay to win, you remove my comment, like the game's not pay to win or something. I don't delete comments unless they're automatically filtered by YouTube as spam, or if the comments are just totally unrelated to the channel or to the game itself. So I really don't have any comment for what you said here. Locust Wolcott asks, can you do a tank guide for Hell Furnace, aka Narya Foundry? Yeah, that's definitely something I can do. It's just right now I'm doing a lot of guide focused videos. So to do a tank video for Narya Foundry, I'll have to find someone that's willing to take me through that and actually, commit some of their time to allow me to just do a tanking video on itself. So in the meantime, you can check out Cheryl's tanking guide for Akkamore until I have my video up. Mike Rebellio, I'm not sure that's you say your last name, apologize. Asks, is Warlock playable at 350 MS? Yes, Warlock is playable at that ping. I would say Summoner, Force Master, and Warlock are the only forgiving classes for players with high ping. Not to say that these three classes will not be good with lower ping, of course. Every class benefits from having a lower latency. Um, and classes such as KFMs and Destroyers are very ping sensitive due to the reliance on anti-cancel for their DPS. So it's just that Summoner, Force Masters, and Warlocks, it's easier to play with if you have high ping. Butter asks, will you carry me, Senpai? JK, you already do. And did you make your profile, or did you make KFM because your profile picture? So I'm assuming you're talking about this profile picture right here. So part of my class decision came from the Korean Blade and Soul trailers. Once I saw the KFM class, I was immediately hooked onto it. I have an affinity towards martial arts, as I am a martial artist myself. And so, as for my profile picture, if you guys didn't know, it is Chiffon Fairchild from the anime series called Freezing. She uses a Volt weapon that is like a pair of gauntlets. So that's where my inspiration and name for my KFM pretty much originated from, and why I made a KFM. So Dark Angel asks, what's the best slash worst thing for you in Blade and Soul? The best thing for me in Blade and Soul will be two things. First would be the combat system. The way it's designed, it makes it feel more like a fighting game than MMO. Most MMOs use a traditional tab target system, and that really bores me out really quick. It doesn't matter if the questing is really fun, or if the graphics are awesome, or even if the gameplay is really fun. If the fighting system itself is just dependent on just tab and target, that's just that gets boring after a while. Quite frankly. The second best thing would be the outfits. Most of them are unique and well designed, drawing influences from Eastern and Western cultures. So I think I've bought most of the outfits, and a lot of them are really good. There's a couple that are recolored, which are not too bad, but they should charge a little lower for that because it's recolor. But yeah, I would consider myself paid to fashion. The worst thing for me would be the RNG boxes and troves, just because I have a little bit of a gambling addiction. It's hard not to open these boxes or buy these boxes and open them because you never know what you could get because of that, I drop probably around 100 to $200 per event. So I would say that is the worst thing about Blade and Soul. Fahad MV says, I like your name. Do you want to change it with mine? Ignore MV. Um, Thank you for your question. Uh, you can keep your name because I really like mine, so we won't do an exchange for names, sorry. Hehe XD asks, how old are you? Well, I just turned 29 at the end of January. Zoma God Squirrel says, congrats, buddy. You know, it's kind of funny. We've talked for a while, but we never ran anything outside of MSP together. Oh well, aim for that 5K sub milestone. I know you'll hit it. It's hard for me to run with anyone outside of the clan, as I usually have a static group with my clan members, and I encourage them to run with us instead of just going to F8 and just looking for randoms or what and whatnot, because it's always just better to run with the clan because that's kind of the point of being in the clan. But yeah, so hopefully we'll do more MSP runs together. So thank you for your words of encouragement and your support. I appreciate it. Jimmy Chung asks, "What's your secret to your sexy voice?" Surprisingly, you're not the first person to comment about my voice. I've had a lot of, well, maybe not a lot of people, but quite a few people ask me about it, and I guess I'll tell you guys the secret. So the secret to it is, it took me 3 years to get this sexy voice. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, then a 10-kilometer run every single day. And of course, make sure you eat 3 meals a day. Just a banana in the morning is fine, but the most important thing is to never use AC or heat in the summer or winter so that you can strengthen your voice. So there you go. You guys now know the secret to my sexy voice. Kaio Chen asks, what got you into Blade and Soul? And also congrats on 1K subs. It's kind of similar to Butter's question. I was looking at videos and reading about Blade and Soul when it was first released for Korea. So the whole martial arts theme, alongside with the action-oriented combat drew me into it. And of course, I tried it during the closed beta for North America, and I've been playing since. Zocom DNZ9 asks, "What's your PC setup?" Well, my PC setup is listed right here on my About page, on my home page. So you can see I have an i7 4770K. It's overclocked to 4.5 gigs. The graphics card is a Asus Strix GTX 980 Ti. 16 gigs of RAM. 1 TB SSD, and then all that other good stuff. So if you want to check out my build, just look right there. Um, QA or QBAK asks, how do you look? I mean, isn't it obvious this is how I look right here? I mean, thought you guys knew this is how I look. Dual Do asks, congrats on 1K subscribers for creating quality content. Money asks, what's your current job slash education that allows you to invest in time and money on Blade and Soul? I would also like to know what's your daily schedule in the game like. Okay, so I've been out of school for a while now. I did get a diploma as a veteran technician, so I did that for probably about a year and a half, and then I kind of figured this is not something I wanted to do for the rest of my life, so I kind of changed jobs. So now I'm working as a manager at a logistics warehouse, and I'm actually liking that. The stress is pretty low, the pay is pretty decent, and I only work like 8 to 4, so hey, it's a good time. As far as my daily schedule in game, I pretty much do my daily challenges first when I log on, and then I might do some dungeons like Desolate Tomb and Evan Citadel, maybe Naryu Foundry if I feel like it. Then after that, I'll finish off with doing maybe like a Tower Infinity and maybe Mushin's Tower, and then I'll log off and play other games just because I have so many other games that I've bought but I've never got to yet, like Witcher 3, Tomb Raider, Dishonored 2 I just completed recently. Same with Dragon Age Origins. But yeah, there's a bunch of games coming out and a bunch of games that I have owned currently that I have not finished that I really do want to finish. Dwo asks, what do you do in real life? Well, I just answered this question by dual do. So here we got, the question first. So next question, Connor Fujishi. So he asks, congrats. My question, could you possibly create a series where you speculate on how the game can be improved if certain items and areas were given more relevancy? For example, Skyhaven and Talos insignias. Also, how about a guide for discontinued weapons, accessories, outfits, etc.? For example, the Dread Tide sword. I could start a series like that, but right now my focus are video guides. I'm trying to find a balance between life, Blade and Soul, and other games. So right now I don't want to dedicate my 100% of my free time to just making videos. I want to be able to enjoy myself and have time for other activities as well. Um, so yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So I guess with more free time, certainly I can probably look into creating a series for that. But for right now, I probably will not be doing that. Angel Macy says, "What's your build? And also, why do you use Roaring Tiger instead of Leading Palm? Because you have Seraph's Gauntlets that drops the cooldown of Leading Palm by 40% at stage 1, and that also means instead of 18 seconds, it's going to be 10.8 seconds of cooldown, and that's less that Roaring Tiger and also Leading Palm multiplies the damage it does if you use it after stage 2, 3, or 4 of Searing Palm. Now, am I missing something, or do you just prefer using Roaring Tiger?" So my build is Full Wind. I use Roaring Tiger as there we go. I use Roaring Tiger because it's always instant for the casting, and I don't need any requirements to proc it. It also reduces the cooldown of Searing Palm by 4 seconds, and I can use Roaring Tiger pretty much every 4 and almost 5 seconds, pretty much. That's just because my Seraph Gauntlet is stage 10, so I get a 60% cooldown on my X. Um, and also Taiwan, I think they just got a change recently to the Seraph Gauntlets. Instead of when hit, it's based on hit for the proc. So hopefully we're going to get that applied to our Seraph weapons as well. So I understand that Leading Palm does multiply the damage, but I'm going for more frequency than damage. Um, and plus, it's just like I said, it's always instant cast, and you know I don't need anything to proc it to do that. All right, so the last question. Matt Cornwall asks, I need a detailed routing guide for Warlock, please, or maybe you can give me some tips. What to look for? I have done a lot of 6-man, but I have never been the router. As you know, for Warlock, this is most needed on 4-mans for an RU Foundry. So you need to have your 2, which is your Soul Shackle, on stage 1 to snare. So make sure FMs and Soul Fighters do not use any chill, as the chill effect will count as a snare, and when Akamor is snared, that causes a global cooldown immunity, so he won't be able to be snared for a certain amount of time. So that will mess up the snaring mechanics if the Force Masters or Soul Fighters are using chill. So he jumps to the furthest person, so you have to be staying on the other side of the rails, so be about 16 meters away. So as soon as you see him face you, you need to snare him. Be mindful that if you successfully snare him, his jump damage will still affect you, so you need to be prepared for that. So it just takes a little bit of practice to get an idea of when he's going to jump towards you, because you have to be really quick on the snare, but once you get it down, it's really easy. So anyway, that looks like that's it for the questions. Thank you again for submitting them. And the next goal is to hit 5,000 subscribers. So once again, thank you everyone. I appreciate the support and love that you guys have given me. It's really motivate me to keep me going and making more videos for Blade and Soul. You guys are a great community. Once again, thank you for watching.